What happens when one person is into fitness or starting to get off the couch and get fit, and the other person isn't quite on board? That can cause issues, big issues in a relationship.
Did you push record?
Thank you so much for joining us today on Second Act TV. Today I want to welcome back personal trainer and our fellow YouTube creator, Nick Lituanio, to Second Act. Nick, thank you so much for joining me again.
I am so excited to be here, actually, truly, honestly excited. So thanks for having me back.
Well, I'm honestly excited to have you too, especially with our topic today. As I said, Nick is a fellow YouTuber. That's how we met here. We've done several segments together. I'll link to those where we really discuss, the importance of getting fit, staying fit, because in order to live our best life, which is what your channel is all about, well, health is everything. Health and fitness is everything. The other thing, of course, that we cover on this channel a lot is relationships. And what happens when one person is, into fitness or starting to get off the couch and get fit, and the other person isn't quite on board. That can cause issues, big issues in a relationship. There's actually stats about that. When one person changes and starts getting maybe more acknowledgments, feels better about themselves, more confidence, and it causes all kinds of issues. What I want to talk about is if you feel that you're in that position, if that's happening in your life, how do you get your partner, how do you get on the same track? How do we do that, Nick?
Well, it is a complicated subject matter. And in the gym, I work with people who often will complain about their partner not being motivated or not being who they are. And it's not something that we are going to solve overnight. And like most relationships, they're, issues, they're complicated issues. But I think that, today what we can talk about are some tips and some strategies on how to really use the tools that you might already have, and turn them towards relationships and how to get on the same page with that partner who is a reluctant exerciser.
Yeah. Well, I know that when if somebody, and it just happened to me, it happened in my last marriage. Actually, it might be one of the reasons that we started going downhill. Is I really got into running and getting fit, and it was important to me. I was approaching 50 at the time, and it was important for me to get into, really good shape. I wanted to be in the best shape after 50 that I ever was, and I actually, got that. So when you come home, you start cooking right, and then, your partner wants to order pizza.
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, first of all, you sit down and enjoy the pizza because life's too short, as long as you don't eat it every night. All right. That's the first thing. Like all relationships, I think the most important thing is to start from a place of empathy. You in your marriage were fired up about taking care of yourself, about getting, in shape. And a lot of things can be going through your partner's mind on that. Is she going to leave me behind? All of a sudden, she's going to be more attractive, more vibrant, more energetic. Can I keep up? The other thing is that person may have some underlying health conditions that they haven't shared with you, or maybe that you're just not aware of or forgotten about. We're not all on the same timetable around these things, but I've yet to meet anyone who doesn't want to take care of themselves. It's usually how do they enter into that journey and how do they feel safe entering into that journey.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, and you actually hit a lot of what was issues with me, as well, and I suspect because everything I go through, everybody else seems to that there were underlying health issues, etc. So yes, the empathy is important, and we each have to have our own, and I know you're big on this, our own why for wanting to do this.
Yeah, and this is super, super important. It's probably the most important thing around health and fitness, is that when you started running, you had some internal reason that was important to you, and it was bigger than bathing suit season is coming. Okay, that may have been part of it, and that's great, if that gets you off the couch, but it's probably a bigger reason. And sometimes, people need help finding that reason. So if you are the exerciser, one of the things that you can do with your partner is to be intimate and share your reason why. They may be looking at you thinking you're just vain or you just want big muscles, and it may be a deeper thing that you have come to the conclusion around. Your reason why may be around truly living a long and healthy life. And if your relationship is in good shape, chances are you want to live that long, healthy life with your partner. And it might kind of blow their mind to hear that, that might be something that you put out there, that once they understand it, they begin to look at this whole thing around exercise a little bit differently. It's so easy for us today, in today's environment, especially as we get a little bit older, to be overwhelmed with fitness, getting fit, what it takes, what you should do, how you should do it, how much you should do it. And, frankly, it's a mountain that sometimes seems insurmountable. And for a lot of people, they're afraid to begin that journey. They're afraid to begin climbing that mountain. And your job, really, if you've kind of began to climb that mountain, is to lend a hand, to reach down and pull your partner up in a gentle and loving and kind way, and to be understanding. And fitness is about your health. And what is more foundational to our quality of life than that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. And like in my case, he did start driving me to races. He, was there at the finish line. And so we did try, there was ways to incorporate something that was very physical, especially at our age running, with somebody that could no longer, because it used to be very physical. And I bring that up because there is ways when you try to not have that tear you apart. But this topic is important to me because I have seen other couples get torn apart. And this wasn't the reason our marriage broke up. There were other things for that. But the whole, when one person is in really good shape and the other one isn't, that's really difficult to even go there. Talk about that.
It's incredibly difficult because no one wants to feel less than. And as soon as one partner starts feeling a little better about themselves, starts eating better, starts doing these habit changes, the partner who's not doing it can be left behind. And even if you are the partner who is on the fitness journey, and you are A plus 100% loving, kind, and really doing a great job, sometimes the negativity that other person feels, it has nothing to do with you, and it has nothing to do with what you're doing. It has to do with the mirror that you're holding up to them. People don't want to be unhealthy. People don't want to be overweight. And when they see their partner making change that maybe they want, but haven't really figured out how to begin that journey, it can drive a wedge between two people. Small changes, just super small changes. That's all we really need to start with. That can be a really powerful thing for couples when they come together around something that is shared like fitness.
Do you have some practical tips you can leave our viewers on this segment about how to get started?
You know, it is a hard journey to begin. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. And the first step is to be empathetic and be kind, and to realize that person is having trouble getting started. So when they do get started, when they start that journey, you want to make sure that you compliment them on what they're doing, that you are positive, and you want to be specific in your praise. You don't want to just say, hey, good job, that's a really great job. You want to say, I really saw how you got out there and went for a walk today, and I think that's great. Can I come with you next time? No matter what they're doing, it's something and it needs to be celebrated, and you need to be their biggest cheerleader. I would say that is the first tip that you really should take to heart and put into action. And by the way, that's just a really great policy if you can do that in your relationship anyways. Be each other's cheerleaders, but here it can really pay dividends. The next thing that I encourage couples to do is to find common ground around working out. What is it that you can do as a couple? And a lot of times the more fit partner will be like, well, I can't do that because that's going to interfere with my workout. That's not a hard enough workout. Well, drop the ego and the attitude. There's always time for you to go for another run or lift some more weights or do whatever it is that's going to get your workout going. Find common ground. The absolute worst experience for someone who is new to working out, beginning their fitness journey, is to get into something that just feels like torture. Okay, so start small, find something common, and something that you can do together. I think that is super, super important.
That is such great advice. Such great advice. And what comes to mind is Paul. When we first started dating, he wasn't a runner. He hated it. So, I did the run walks with him. And at first it was like, I didn't say it, but I had already learned that. But I did see other couples going there to where, even when the other person tried, it was like, well, I can't keep up with it. You don't need to keep up. You need to find that common ground. So really, really, really good point.
Right. And there's this term that they use. It's called gym boss. You don't want to be the gym boss. Okay. If you are experienced working out and your partner is not, it's not going to be good if you're bossing them around and telling them what to do. There is a reason that Michael Jordan was a really bad basketball coach, okay? Because he did things that his players, he expected them to be able to do, and they couldn't do it because they're Michael Jordan. Now, chances are you're not Michael Jordan, but the same concept applies. And this is an area where I would really encourage couples to get help in the way of, maybe a personal trainer for a while, or the person who maybe isn't as fit and just getting into it. Having someone who is neutral and can help that person it just allows the whole landscape to be depressurized a little bit because you're no longer gym boss. You can really focus on being supportive and curious. And if you have an open mind, you might even learn a few things because your partner is working with a personal trainer and you'll be exposed to things that they're doing that maybe you didn't know about. So, it can be a really great thing to do.
Great point. Any more tips? We're starting to come to the end of the segment, but I don't want to miss out on your great advice.
Yeah. Two real quick tips then. The next one is make your workout time special time, like date night. Okay.
Oh,
Find things that you both can do together that you both enjoy that are physical. Could be walking the dog or being in the garden. Make that time sacred. Make exercise something that you both value. And just like that Tuesday night date night that that you won't schedule anything over, your workout time should be that important to the both of you as well. And finally, we are with people we care about, hopefully, because we have fun with them. And you want to choose activities that are fun, that allow both parties to enjoy the physical part of that activity, and you're with one another. When you make that time sacred and you find things that you both enjoy, it goes from exercise, I hate to exercise, to I get to spend time with my partner going to do something that is kind of physical, but it's still fun. And who doesn't want to do that? I think just reframing this in a way where it's not me against you, it's us together can change the way that people look at relationships, and the results that, I'm sorry, can change the way they look at fitness, and it will impact their relationship in a really positive way.
Yeah, no, great point. Yeah, fitness is something, it's something to better yourself, not to all of a sudden cause issues for a relationship. And there's a lot written about that, and that's why I wanted to have that conversation with you today, Nick. We will, of course, link to your channel.
Thank you.
I'll have the link in the show notes and the previous segments that we've done, and I look forward to more conversations with you here on Second Act TV.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for having me back. I really enjoyed our time together. So look forward to seeing you again.
Bye, Nick. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel, and if there's a topic that you'd like to have us cover, please visit our website, secondact.tv. We have a little red suggestion box in the upper right-hand corner of our site. Just click on that, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.